welcome to Sessions Canceled podcast. I'm your host today, Sam. The Dungeon Master got shot, so Sessions canceled. I'm here with Josh.
You just got shot? That was it?
Yes.
Okay, hello.
Not gonna lie, I've heard a couple of green texts that started like that before.
Oh my god.
I'm not surprised by it.
It's like a player spurred down, then pulled out the gun and on the DM. And it's like, wait a minute.
Holy
hold
shit.
up.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like, no, Dungeon Master. I said I had advantage. It's like, okay.
Wow, okay.
I do like that half those stories end with the DM being like, no, you fucking don't. What are you going to do? Shoot me? Bang. Oh, you shot me. I can't believe this.
I can't believe
DM pulls out shotgun.
What you said you were going to do.
I can't believe you called my bluff.
What are you going to do? Stab me?
Quote from Man Stabbed.
Last
I love that
words.
news report.
Yeah, famous last words. I'm a fucking idiot.
Anyway,
Good lord.
I'm here with Josh, Matt, and Isaiah.
I love
We can't get through the intro bit anymore, apparently.
No,
Never.
No, we're just going to do this.
The intro bit does kind of relate to today's topic. Before I was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Modern settings. Stamp guns.
I guess. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Holy
We're talking about settings that are more like our current time period. I would say our time period, but that's not necessarily true because some games can take like 20 or so years in the past and 20 years in the future, and it's like there are slight
Not
changes.
fantasy bullshit.
Not fantasy, not
unless
like
you're like unless you
Cyberpunk.
look at Shadowrun and you're just like, okay, there's a little bit of fantasy in there, but not enough for me to get mad.
Are you
All right,
okay
Sam,
with
so here's
a
a
lot
lot of fantasy.
Yeah.
My game takes place 400 years in the future with modern day equipment. Does that count as a modern setting?
Absolutely not.
I was gonna say
yours is you even said yours is post apocalypse.
Yeah.
So like,
well, also, I think it's worth and I don't know, maybe we need to set some definitional ground rules.
Yeah,
here, but
that's-
I think
that's
it's worth
what I was
pointing
gonna do.
out that post-apocalypse is a different genre compared to.
Hmm.
I know.
I know. I was just sort of playing because what we mean is like urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson kind of shit. Yeah.
Percy Jackson,
Vampire the Masquerade.
Vampire the Masquerade.
I was gonna
Call
say
of
Buffy the
Cthulhu,
Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like
Yeah,
you basically
Supernatural.
anything that,
Supernatural,
you could see it happening within the past, like I won't want to say like 80 years and maybe 80 years in the future. I would consider modern, quote unquote, because it's kind of it's like, what's modern? And you just kind of stare off into the distance.
Yeah, there's not like
would
a
superhero games.
Superhero games
Yes.
would be considered modern because they see that's the thing. Modern setting. I'm not saying like fantasy setting, sci-fi setting, superhero setting. It literally is just the time period because like vampire takes place in a modern setting, but it literally is a darker timeline. Because they have vampires, warlocks, werewolves, all of that. Like.
Yeah, most superhero bullshit is modern settings. It's pretty rare that superhero stuff is super far in the future or super far in the past. It does happen, but it's rare.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Now I'm thinking about
That's
a whole other rabbit hole.
maybe like a noir film kind of superhero nonsense I could see, but
even that though, it's like
even that's still kind of modern.
Yeah, because that's like
use dick.
1900s. It's like
yeah. So yeah, that is what I would say is modern. Anything that you can see happening within. I mean, fuck. I was gonna say 1920s. That was
1920s. Yeah. Well,
like 1920s to maybe like 50, 60 years in the future.
Post-industrial revolution.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Actually. So like even like settings like Shadowrun where the technological advancement is like it's great, but you could kind of see it happening maybe within our lifetimes. Some of them, not
Cyberpunk
all of them.
Cyberpunk's weird, right? Because Cyberpunk is in some regards sort of a modern tone setting, but is also
always felt
sci-fi.
like futuristic.
Yeah,
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
It's that we could possibly achieve this. That
yeah.
caveat that I'm giving to the modern kind of setting, because like it has the same type of cities, same type of like vehicles. I'll say like there may be some advancements where like, oh, we have flying cars now. Okay,
you have VTOLs, but you don't have spaceships.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we could possibly achieve it. It's not like 100% guaranteed. Some are more bleak than others as well.
The thing about
it's such a weird thing to be like specific about.
The thing about cyberpunk as a genre type is it is cyberpunk as a genre kind of walks a double line in the sense that it is sci-fi because it is trying to look ahead and go, what kind of weird shit would happen if we take what we have now and start jumping it forward, right? In the idea of like, oh, IRL, we have prosthetics, cyberpunk genres, we have cyberware. That's sort of a natural progression. But the best, the cyberpunk settings that work are in many ways examinations of our current modern life through a slightly more over-the-top lens. So they're sci-fi and technology in many ways, but in terms of tone and story, in terms of like theme, they're very modern.
Yep.
Like you can take stories, like you could take like movies that occur in our current timeline could be translated very easily to cyberpunk stuff because cyberpunk is dealing with much the same themes.
Yeah.
So cyberpunk's that weird middle child.
Overwhelming capitalism with advanced technology.
Basically kind of capitalism. Jokes on you.
Yeah, so cyberpunk sits in kind of an interesting spot.
Yeah.
So
we'll consider it modern.
Yeah, I think it mostly counts.
Like, because the main sci-fi portion of it is literally like just the fact that they have advanced technology. Yeah. And again, like I said before, it is technically possible that we could advance to a point where we are in a cyberpunk like level of technology.
We're already there in some ways.
Years. In some ways, yes.
Some of it, yeah.
Like we're getting there. So like it's very possible that could just be our future.
I can't wait to pay like
this sparks something deep within me. All right. Okay. Your body, you, as each of you, right? We're in Night City. How chromed up are you getting? Assuming you can afford it, right?
I was about to say, I can't wait to pay 20 grand to get double jump in real time. It's going to be fucking great.
I genuinely don't know how much I could do. Like the idea that like,
brother, I would replace my knees, and I think that's about it.
I was about to say, me and Sam with the new legs. Yeah, brother. High five.
I'd probably go with because I can't imagine losing my actual. If I can't feel sand or like grass in between my toes,
it feels weird.
Kill me. No.
Yep.
Use your hands, Fred.
I think I'd probably go the silver hand route. I think I'd get one robot arm and be like, "This is it." I'm gonna pull a Deadpool. I bet it feels great with this hand.
I'm kind of the outlier here. Then I think I'd get pretty cybered.
Really? You'd let go of your meat body?
I think so. Well, I think I. Ooh, this gets into some heavy territory.
Correct.
Yeah. I think
I think a lot of what I would get would probably be like neural enhancements, like better vision, better thinking, better senses. The limbs and stuff, maybe not as much, but I don't know, cybernetic spine might be pretty cool.
Josh, give me a new back, please.
It's like the scene from Edge Runners, David getting his back cut open, new spine placed in.
I just don't feel like getting every part of me or even my brain touched.
I think the brain stuff I would do a lot of.
I couldn't do brain stuff. I'd be like, y'all are gonna fuck this up, and I'm just gonna die.
The USB port in the back of your neck is like every time I saw it when playing Cyberpunk or watching Edge Runners or anything, like it weirds me out too much. Like the one in your wrist, I'm like, okay, for some reason that doesn't bother me. But the fact that everybody has a USB port attached to the fucking like back of their skull, I'm like, oh.
You know what would bother you, Matt? I asked Josh this question. He was like, "No, I don't like this one." I was like, "Do you feel the smart cord in your wrist thing? Do you know that?"
My god!
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Triggered.
Oh,
You definitely feel at least the vibrations of it. In your
remember when I was
wrist.
like, "Do you feel when you pull the fucking the like
wire,
input jack out of your wrist? Do you have sensation in your wrist?" Triggered him again.
I just thought about it.
You have at least some sensation.
Okay, yeah, you probably do.
Like even if there's like no fucking nerves in there, you will feel the vibrations of you pulling that cord out. And
Honestly-
your wrist will go.
Honestly, the reason I was thinking about the brain implants is like I'm imagining an implant where I could get like mantis shrimp eyes so I could see like a greater color spectrum for drawing and art, right? Like
My man out here living his best terraformer's life.
yeah, or like an implant that makes your depth perception more precise so you could like draw perspective better. Like that's where I went immediately. That was like where my thoughts went.
Oh, okay, I'm a psycho. I was like, I want better depth perception so he could shoot better.
That's true too.
I just want to be Spider-Man. I just want robot double jump legs and a grappling hook. That's it. I'd be happy.
And a
That's it.
grappling hook. I don't. Yeah,
Just want a grappling hook be a menace.
See,
to society.
I'm afraid of heights, so I couldn't do either of those.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights, but I love that shit. Like I don't know
I'm
why.
good.
Like
I'm
Well,
good.
so Josh, I
I love and hate heights. It's a weird thing.
Well, Josh, here's a double-edged sword, right? You could get fucking fear inhibitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Imagine it, right?
that
you
seems
get done with the
like-
surgery, and then you just watch yourself give blood. Like, yes, I can do it now.
Jesus.
That seems like a categorically bad idea. Like,
yeah, but,
I feel
why
like-
wouldn't you?
It's like removing your pain receptors.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Remove my
Turn off
cringe
my
inhibitor. You fuck.
I think I'm internally bleeding.
Well, like, you know, I not to get too down the rabbit hole on this one, but I feel like a lot of the time the weird irrational phobias you have are set in your brain for a reason. You know, like there's something in there that you're not aware of, that they're there for a purpose.
Oh, no, yeah, they're
I-
almost definitely evolutionary traits that
Right.
learn. Like,
So
I
I
was
feel
actually
like-
talking about this at work with my coworker. Like, a fear of needles is almost definitely based on like a fear of
Just getting
snakes
stabbed.
or being stabbed.
Yeah, something along those lines. You know, or
Wait, what?
even
Really?
well, what Isaiah is saying, Matt, is there's a
Primal
subset.
instinct.
Yeah, there's a subset of like scientists and psychologists who are under the belief, and it's not totally unfounded, that irrational phobias are actually inherited. And the reason you have that fear is because someone in your ancestry had some sort of bad situation related to that fear. And so now it's imprinted in you. For example, you're afraid of spiders because an ancestor 100 years ago or 200 years ago died to a spider bite. So that's imprinted on you to be afraid of spiders. This is obviously very like fringe, like we're not, you know, it's hard to talk
'cause I
about
would-
science, but there's a lot of
It's
speculation.
not a hard science.
Right, because I
It's
would
the
assume
best
it would
way
be
to-
your experiences. Like Matt,
Not necessarily, no.
I used to have very bad arachnophobia as a kid. Because like as a kid, like I, you know, one day on the swings, minding my own business, all of a sudden I feel something on my back, turn around, massive spider, big like tarantula looking thing on my back. And I did the thing like screaming, fucking ripping my shirt off like a madman.
Well,
all the parents in the like around the playground looking at this shirtless crazy kid.
The thing
there's
is,
another school of thought.
Well, here's the
I think
thing.
is inter-
Matt, right? So you doing that though, the argument is that the reason you had that reaction in the first place is because that fear is so deeply imprinted, right? Because a lot of children look at spiders and go, "Ooh, funny creature," and poke it. You know?
Yeah. There's another school of thought that says that phobias are actually so because we as humans like suppress our instincts so much, right? Like people are like, oh, food tastes bad, therefore good for you, which is like almost categorically not true. Like if your taste buds were designed so that something tasted bad, it was probably bad for you. If it was sweet, it was probably good for you, right? That's why we like fruit. Obviously there are things that break that mold, but like the idea is that because we don't rely on our instincts enough that they will sort of strike out at certain things. So you see like spider in your instinct, every part of your instincts go venomous, will kill, don't touch. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a complicated, interesting thing. And it's also part of the reason that the theories even started to happen or form is because when you look at animals have very clear instinctive fears and concerns from like day one, you know? Like there's certain things animals will do, like even if you just observe dogs or cats. Like golden retrievers will be 2 weeks old and will try to like retrieve things. And it's like, well, obviously nobody taught you that yet because they couldn't have, but you're just doing it, you know?
Yeah, so it's sort of like instinct or
so it's sort of extrapolated that phobias might be the same thing, particularly because phobias tend to be irrational. That's the big crux of it, right? Like phobias are generally quite unreasonable. Like the fact that I'm afraid of heights doesn't really make any sense because the obvious response to being afraid of heights is just don't fall, forehead. Right? But like you can't resist it, you know? Or like being afraid of spiders, you can easily kill a spider. Like,
that's
why would you be afraid of
now?
Like, but you just are. You can't resist it.
Like, no. If I'm in a room and I see a spider, I don't freak out anymore. I'm just like, all right, this spider needs to die in the next 5 minutes, or I'm gonna burn my house down. And like just calmly grab a shoe and just annihilate it.
And you know, think about it. There's some phobias that get really weird. I mean, there are people afraid of balloons.
Yeah, or like the people that are afraid of holes in their body or some shit.
Yeah,
like
tryptophobia.
No, that one's actually that's actually so the believed reason why that is because clusters of holes in nature often mean parasites.
Yeah.
Like maggots or jiggers. I know that's literally what they're called.
Yes.
I know. Yeah.
So your brain goes, that thing is sick, and if I get near it, I will also catch that. So fuck off.
Yep.
I used to have that. Actually, I was like slightly trypophobic, and then I said, "Fuck this, I refuse," and I just looked up a bunch of trypophobic pictures, and I
my partner has that, and
oh baby, the exposure therapy.
Yep.
Every time they see their belly button,
bro.
No,
it has to be a cluster.
Many holes. It's not just a single
not
hole.
Just a hole.
Doors would freak people the fuck out if that was the case.
Speaking of side note, let me tell you, exposure therapy is a weird thing, right? Because when we were in Colorado and I had to unintentionally exposure therapy myself. That's
Chips Castle, baby.
Yo, that is a weird sensation. Like, I felt when we like left and I like sat in the car, I felt like my brain was in like a different dimension. I was like, what universe did I just visit? Like, I was in a completely different headspace. That was such a weird sensation. Like, that is like an indescribable feeling.
I agree. You sit back and go, wow.
It's like it's because the only way to deal with it is you have to like out of body yourself in order to look at it more objectively. But it's like you're out of bodying yourself consciously. It's very strange. It's a whole thing. It's so weird.
Anyway,
I was going to say
that was a rabbit hole. We started sort of on topic because we were talking about cyberpunk and stuff, and then we just got into phobias. It's fun.
I do have a question though, as pertaining to this topic. Does reverse isekai count? As we're talking
depends on where you're going.
Time setting.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you're someone from the past,
fantasy to like modern Japan, like Devil's a part-timer?
Oh yes,
and yes.
Okay, because I was gonna bring up one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. I mentioned to you guys, 2001 movie, Just Visiting. Literally a knight in shining armor and his peasant friend. And I say present friend in air quotes because the guy's basically his slave. They're isekai'd into the modern future of 2001, and basically just going throughout New York City and fighting dragons that are actually just cars. And
you could also say something like Highlander is modern.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a That's a very specific kind of subgenre, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you, Matt. Thank you for the
You're
question. Yes, that would be considered modern because, again, a vast majority of it, or at least some of it, will take place in a modern setting. I'm not saying that an isekai would be like a regular one because
Not a regular one. No, the reverse. That's why I'm
the
like,
first like 10 seconds may be in a modern setting.
All right, let's be honest though here, Sam.
Yeah.
You came to this from the mindset of vampire, right? You had Vampire on the
Call of
brain?
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu. Yeah. Those were the
Call
two
of
things
Cthulhu,
in my
okay.
mind when I was like,
what was it? Call of Cthulhu usually set in like the 50s or something.
yeah,
That's
Not
modern.
always, but yeah, for the most
but
part.
that's pretty modern.
That's modern.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess I wanted to start this off with a question. That being, what is your favorite type of modern setting? Are we vampire, where it's kind of grimdark? It's very similar to our time period. It's just a little bit off. Wizards and fucking vampires. Or are we talking like just modern kind of timeline, like Call of Cthulhu? It's just the elder gods exist kind of deal. What would you consider your favorite modern setting? Because I'm pretty sure mine is vampire, honestly.
Yeah, I'm debating on
Or at
doing
least
like the
vampire-like.
Percy Jackson Scion thing or Cyberpunk. I don't know. Like, because I didn't know, I wasn't in my head thinking Cyberpunk was on the table, but now that it is, I'm like,
It is on the table.
It is
because
thematically in a lot of ways.
But I think I
you
might
could translate a lot of stories from Cyberpunk to modern and modern
And
to
vice
Cyberpunk.
versa, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like-
okay.
But
All right.
I
Isaiah's
think I'll
about
just
to be real
do
cringe.
Percy
Okay,
Jackson
all right,
thing.
you're gonna be
Yeah.
cringe.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it, go for it.
Okay.
Doctor, unleash my cringe inhibitors.
Yeah, Doctor, unleash my cringe inhibitors. Tokusatsu. That's my favorite setting.
What was that?
Oh, that's not as cringe as I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
No, I want giant robots. I want suit actors. That's my favorite modern
Oh.
fantasy.
Common Rider,
Understandable.
Matt. Common Rider.
Okay.
Well, not
okay.
necessarily. I like
Kamen
Godzilla.
Rider,
Tokusatsu.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
I like
fucking-
Pacific Rim. I want to look
Pacific
up and
Rim.
go.
Is that modern? Or is that?
That's modern,
Well,
yeah.
so Godzilla started in it took place in 57.
But to have it to be a mecha pilot, wouldn't that be like sci-fi? Like
Have you
not
so-
watched Pacific Rim?
No.
No, I actually, to be fair, I have not seen
Evangelion is
Pacific Rim,
also-
so I can't.
Yeah,
Kind of modern.
Ava's modern too, yeah.
Ava, yeah,
So-
I mean, I do really love Ava.
Again, this is where
Oh.
this is where we get into what Isaiah's talking about. This is where we get into one of those, because there's always
The wild fringe cases.
there's always like the tonally slightly off versions of a genre, right?
Mhm.
Ava and Godzilla and Pacific Rim occupy this space of technologically sci-fi, but thematically very
Okay.
modern. Because
Okay.
They're just slightly more advanced in some
they're more
aspects.
advanced, yeah, but the way they're living and what's going on and the problems they're having are all very modern. Like it doesn't
Minus the
drift.
giant monsters trying to kill
minus the
everybody,
giant
but,
monster.
like,
But honestly, the funny thing about Godzilla and the Kaiju Pacific Rim is they are all allegories for natural disasters. So even the giant monsters are not that weird. They're
they're
actually
not that
pretty.
far off.
They're not that far
Like,
off. Yeah,
Yeah.
You have to consider them something completely different.
they're a
than
different
what they
thing,
are.
but the
Yep.
the tone and the theme that they're built around is a very modern and real problem.
Yep.
So it fits.
Godzilla is literally based off of
Nuclear
Americans making this
explosions.
shit.
Yeah, the
Japan.
Bikini
Like-
Atoll incident. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I was-
it's a fringe case, but it is a fringe case that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, okay, now I got a better understanding now. Okay.
so I was kind of memeing. I think my favorite probably modern fantasy is and this is me actually unleashing my cringe inhibitors, is like the modern day wizards, and I don't mean like Harry Potter. I mean more like Fate, right? There's like a secret society,
Yeah.
and they have
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that's my like the fact that there's like some clearly fantastical shit going on, but it's all under the guise of like kind of like vampire. There's like we got rules. We can't let anyone know.
Yeah.
That's my
Well, I
favorite.
mean, Harry Potter kind of does that, like
Yeah,
like
but
very
I-
loosely.
So Harry Potter.
Like, wouldn't Harry Potter count as a
It
like,
would, yeah.
modern?
Harry Potter, I would say, counts on a technicality because yes, Harry Potter is modern time and setting, but a lot of what's going on and a lot of the problems and conflicts in Harry Potter are
Don't have
very
anything
fantasy.
to do with modern.
Yeah, they're very
It's-
old school D&D. Like fighting the evil dark wizard lord is very fantasy genre.
Mhm.
And tonally the way it's presented in Harry Potter,
They don't
a
even
lot
live
of the
in
time-
a modern set. Like
Yeah,
they
you
don't
forget.
live in a modern way.
they don't. Yeah, you forget that they're even in the modern era a lot of the time, which is why, actually funny you mentioned this. When I was watching Fantastic Beasts, the fact that the main character in Fantastic Beasts is running around like New York City, my brain when I first saw it was like, what is going on? This is Harry Potter. Why is he
This
in the
is in
city?
Scotland. I mean England. Yeah, I
Or
totally.
London? Is he in London or New York City? I forget.
No, in the first movie he's in Manhattan.
Manhattan. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So like the main character is running around to Manhattan and talking to people in like Manhattan shops, and it's a crowded city street, and it was like a super weird tonal whiplash from the normal Harry Potter shit. So I immediately was like, what is going on? Because I sort of forgot, because so much of Harry Potter is not about that that setting stuff. It's it's like, yeah, we're in modern times, but all the problems we're dealing with are very old school fantasy shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
whereas
Super
with,
weird.
Like Vampire and Fate, the characters live in
It's
the like literally they live in like apartments, like houses. There's sure there may be magical shit in their places, but like it looks very modern. They go to the grocery store. They
Here's
go to
a-
nightclubs. They
here's
do
a
all of this
comparison.
modern shit.
Yeah.
in like Vampire the Masquerade, you could see a plot line revolving around a character getting caught in insurance fraud. Right?
That's literally okay.
That
I was
could
about to bring
not.
this up.
That would not happen in Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's literally a plot point in the original Fate series where like
I believe it.
because the church spent all of like the Tosaka family money, that she's like, yeah, after this war, I'm getting kicked out of my house. I'm just vibing, and you're like, oh, that's
that's
rough,
fucked
bud.
Yeah.
She goes to England, has a good time. It's fine.
Yeah, her boyfriend goes to the Middle East, probably dies horribly. It's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Depending on the ending.
It's fun.
Sometimes he turns into a doll. Sometimes he goes off and does something until he ends up in Avalon. Don't worry about it.
It's funny,
fine.
Isaiah, that you mentioned though. You mentioned anime, Fate specifically, because I was about to say the same fucking thing, because I was about to mention Bleach. I think that Bleach is a lot of so.
Oh, what about Nabari? Fuck, I completely forgot about
Oh,
that shit.
Nabari's a good one.
What's Nabari?
Yeah.
I'm queuing that up on my playlist.
Especially the one ninja who's just like, all these
Understandable.
other guys using ninja stars, pulls out Glock, and then me,
I don't know.
I'm modernized. You're like, oh shit.
I don't know this anime.
This is the
Literally,
Naruto.
Yeah, no, it's just better Naruto. It's
Interesting.
modern day better Naruto. I stand
Okay.
by this. Any fucking weebs out there that are listening, fuck you. Naruto, trash. Nabari, oh no, god tier.
Okay.
As a
Here's-
Naruto fan, I confirm.
Here's where I'm at. So
I also confirm.
I just pulled the. What is it? My cock, big. Your cock, soft. I
Yep,
got
yep.
Dark Souls cock, big. You.
yes, you did. I kind of have two answers, right? So Bleach is the one thing I thought of. The other thing I thought of though is Black Lagoon,
I had a feeling.
because
Literally, you said Bleach. I'm like, the
Yeah.
other one's Black Lagoon.
yeah. So because or Gangsta, if you want to go in that route too. My thing is, so I feel like I need to quantify or quantitate these. So my thing with Bleach that I like, although I will admit, Bleach is kind of funny because it switches back and forth a little bit, but
It's very Bleach is very isekai.
yeah, but it
in
goes
its nature.
it goes-
but it's
back and forth
It's
enough.
yeah.
Honestly,
You
I
don't
thought.
forget that they live in a modern world.
Yeah, I thought you'd
Yeah.
bring up Jujutsu Kaisen over Bleach.
You know
Because
what?
they have almost
Actually,
the
you
same
know
energy.
what? You
Jujutsu Kaisen is
yes,
just
yes,
there's no
yeah.
other worlds. It's
So
it's
that's
just
the thing.
Bleach, but in
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we throw these hands in reality, baby.
So okay, that's the thing I was about to say. So the reason I thought of Bleach, although Jujutsu Kaisen's a pretty good one, the reason I thought of Bleach is because I like the thing where the main character is from the modern setting and dealing with modern issues, and then they get yeeted into crazy fantasy world, and then they have to constantly bounce back and back and forth between them and deal with both. I like that. And specifically,
it's very Spider-Man.
Yeah, correct, Matt. It's you hit the nail on the head, Matt.
You're welcome.
It's very Spider-Man. I like the idea of I have to deal with both. And what I like particularly with Bleach and what Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't do is the two universes are totally separate to the point where the people in normal modern times cannot see the magical shit, right? Like humans cannot see hollows. Right. And I like that striation and having to deal with that striation, because in some regards, it's actually really beneficial that human beings can't see hollows. But in other regards, it's a huge pain in the ass that humans can't see hollows, because sometimes people just die for some reason and they don't know why.
I mean, it is the same in Jujutsu Kaisen, though. They can't just see the curses unless they're
True. Yes. The only thing with Jujutsu Kaisen is they don't have a whole separate dimension, and I kind of like that part of it. I like the Soul Society part of it.
The thing that made me fucking laugh was, if you think about, like, if you could see hollows or curses in everyday life, it'd be like the first time you see the Amidala in Bloodborne, where you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The Austin Powers.
Yeah, especially because I mean, curses in particular get pretty gross looking.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
They're all pretty
one day I'll watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
I mean, one of the curses in Jujutsu Kaisen. I
forgot that you didn't watch it.
Oh, god damn it! You remember there? There was the
it's a
one
good thing that
curse.
you guys are going to be stuck in a hotel room together for 4 days.
Hey, there we go.
There was the one curse that was literally just a giant cluster of nasty fish, right? Like,
oh yeah,
they get pretty weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I like about the kind of Bleach vibe. And Vampire the Masquerade has this to a degree, but I'm not particularly interested in the, like, we have to hold up the masquerade. That part I'm like, that just gets a little annoying sometimes. Like, I don't like to deal with it. I like that it's literally, in something like Bleach, I like when it's literally a separate dimension, because you have to juggle the two. And then when we're talking about, like, Gangsta and Black Lagoon, those are wholly modern settings. There's like any weird dimension or anything. But they have an element of, like, magical realism where it's like, Revi's a normal human being, but she does some things where you're like, you push it in a little bit.
Superhuman shit.
But Roberta running as fast as a fucking Lincoln.
Roberta shooting an anti-tank rifle with one arm while running over rooftops
and not exploding from the recoil.
The samurai dude cutting bullets in half like it's nothing, like it's just an everyday, and Revi getting really hyped about that.
That's really normal. Yeah, it's just normal people things.
So
you know?
I like that little hint, that little spice of the magical realism to add into the, like, otherwise totally modern setting.
I hate to bring this up because these characters are the bane of my Black Lagoon existence. But, like, Hansel one-arming the BAR, thing that like most adults struggle firing while standing. Yep.
And then with Gangsta, right, the drugs literally make them superhuman, but it's a very temporary thing, and it has drawbacks, and it's like, it's got just the little hint, little spice of sci-fi to, like, push it into anime zone, but it's not so ridiculous that it, like, totally breaks the logic kind of thing.
I don't know why you saying the drugs made me think of The Boys, but that also counts.
Yeah, it does.
The Boys,
I watched the show for Gangsta. The one thing that irked me a little bit, or not that it irked me, I think the best show of force in Gangsta is in the first episode, where you're like, oh, Nick is really strong, but, like, what's his upper limit? And when he kicks the cop car, and it doesn't, like, flip, but it, like, goes up on two wheels and it comes back down.
Yep.
That was like, oh, that's a perfect example. And then, like, I don't know, what was the kid's name? What was the
prostitute's brother?
Yeah. When he's like, he's like climbing a brick wall by stabbing it with kukris, and you're like, what? I don't know about that.
But, yeah. It's like you're pushing it just enough to make it, like, fun anime time, but not so far that it's, like, complete nonsense. Oh, actually,
Now I'm just thinking about anime that's just like, yeah, this is realistic, and then it just does some really stupid shit, and you're just like,
hey.
Oh wait, JoJo.
I was just about to say JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo.
JoJo campaign.
Is that
Let's
a
go.
motherfucking JoJo reference?
God, fuck. God bless.
we started talking about anime. Of course, it's gonna come to JoJo.
I told you guys about my job. We do the the
Christ.
question of the week thing.
Yeah.
One of the questions was like, what superpowers do you want, or what superpowers? And I said like the power to unpause and pause time. And one of my coworkers, after I wrote that on the big whiteboard we had, he wrote underneath there, Zoroardo for me.
Nice. Nice. Hell yeah. Zoroardo. I mean, yeah, JoJo is totally on point. JoJo is like, yeah, I mean, that's the perfect example in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Oh,
Modern
Christ.
campaign. I will ask probably at the end of this, like how to do certain games. Obviously, one of them I'm gonna ask is probably how to do D&D in a modern setting, but like that'll come later.
Just don't. That's my response on that one.
But that could be later. We could think of some ideas after
Fair enough.
We could have a whole podcast to let it bubble up.
I'm just thinking about JoJo in part 8 and how Araki just goes and is like, okay, that guy, he has the worst hair ever, and then it gets worse.
Bro,
It gets worse.
What if people didn't have buttholes?
Sam, you're on part 8. I still can't get over the shit I watched this morning for part 4. So I'm gonna need you to reel it back. I watched an 11-year-old child throw himself in front of a truck. Like I don't
listen.
Bro.
For all of those listening to this and have never watching JoJo, don't worry about it. Just
Don't
watch
worry about it. Yeah,
Welcome to
don't
the
worry about
Sessions
it.
Canceled Anime Edition.
Listen, so, you know, I just don't get attached to dogs.
No, do not.
I'm so glad he stopped that shit after part.
Yeah, he did.
Same,
He did,
like,
but just
same.
don't get
dude.
attached to dogs.
Like,
You'll have a bad time. Just don't get attached to characters either, because like that's another thing. Like, get attached to them, but like don't think of them
Your
too
favorite
highly.
character
Very
will
likely
probably
on the chopping
explode.
block.
And if they didn't explode that season, they'll probably explode next season.
And they might not even go out in a cool way.
No,
no, they'll just go out and die off screen.
sometimes they just die horribly.
Yep.
I don't even want to talk about the fucking part 8 bullshit that you learn about in there, and you're just like, oh, that's sad. Why did this happen off screen?
Are you talking about Johnny or
Johnny? Yeah.
yeah?
Well, no, they added to it afterwards.
Listen, Johnny, he died for a good cause.
Yeah, no, but like they went back and he made panels for that, so
like
you
how-
do see it.
I like how
You do see it,
Sam
but,
was
like,
trying to dodge the spoiler.
I didn't need to.
Sam was
I didn't
trying.
want to.
Sam-
It happens after his part. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's also like
I'm just thinking.
100 years in the future. So like,
I'm just thinking.
brother, if you didn't realize that he died at this point, brother, I got another thing to talk about.
I'm just thinking about the ending of part 3. We don't need to.
Dude, it was just so fucking good. Such a good anime fight.
So
Like,
anyway, part 7 takes place in 1890, and then part 8 takes place in like modern times. So it's fine.
yeah, I completely forgot how much of
There
a
is
jump
a
that
very
was.
large jump because it literally goes, oh, you guys remember part 1, right?
Sam.
You're like, okay, that's part 7, cool. And then they go, all right, you guys remember part 4? You're like, wait, what about part 2 and 3? No.
Don't worry about it.
That's fine. We'll come back to those later.
Oh
You're
god.
like, what?
Sam, get us back on track.
Modern. We're talking about JoJo.
Modern.
It's
Yeah, so if you guys want to do your 5e edition of a modern game, just rip off from JoJo's. There you go.
I could just play the JoJo RPG.
Or you can play the JoJo RPG. Oh wait, this is JoJo
has an
RPG.
RPG.
Apparently, I'm looking at
Well,
it right now.
it took my brain a whole 2 seconds to process that.
I don't.
Mid sentence, just brain alert.
Wait, what? What you talking about?
Yeah, modern.
It's unofficial, but like it exists.
Yeah, of course it's not official.
Yeah, wait.
Sir, there's a fucking
What?
Konosuba and a Goblin Slayer RPG.
True.
yeah,
That's true. This is true. And I can't even say, those are more recently popular things like JoJo didn't explode within the last decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
This thing has been going on for literally decades, and it exploded
I
recently.
know, right? Right. Only took an
Like
anime.
Berserk, EBH.
Rise.
Yeah, I know, right? Berserk
Anyways.
is definitely not a modern setting.
No, definitely not. When we get to the Grimdark episode.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But yeah, Sam, what other questions do you have? You got?
So we've talked about our favorite modern settings. That is more of like a just in general fiction thing. But what do you look for in a modern setting for a tabletop game? Because so I've noticed that like it's a lot more fun to play something kind of like Vampire, where there's either the secret society or it's just kind of a little like humans are strong as fuck, or like like special characters,
A little Black
like
Lagoon-esque.
Yeah, a little Black Lagoon-esque. Like superheroes are kind of like they're so
It's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe than what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because like I do want to play someone who's a little bit more down to earth.
You want to be
if I'm going to be a fantasy creature in a fucking modern setting. I don't want to be a superhero that's just like, hey yo, I'm here to save the day. Here's my secret identity. Like, I don't have to hide that specifically.
You want to play
like,
Revy, not Captain America.
Well, sort of. For me, I don't know. I like the idea of I'm Superman level strength, but there's like serious repercussions or
to using it because if someone finds out, they'll just like do experiments, that kind of thing.
Well, sort of. So like Gojo's whole thing, right, is like, I literally have unlimited power, but also if I like tap into this, I'll sort of become something not a person, right? Like infinity is such a massive unknowable concept that if I keep it up, then I just sort of become this thing. I was thinking, like, honestly, I was thinking of Fate for Apocrypha with Siegfried, where he's like, I can turn into a heroic spirit, one of the best actually, but I can only do it 4 times, and then I turn into a kobold, and not the cool kind.
The fuck.
He becomes a dragon eventually. It's fun.
Yeah, he becomes an actual fucking astral dragon, which is really cool. But it's sort of an ultimate situation. He's stuck that way forever.
My train of thought when you said that, Sam, was of course what kind of mechanics would I look for? I
mean that's kind of what I'm looking at.
I think for me, the thing I need, because the thing that's interesting about or kind of like fun about playing in a modern setting is you can very easily attach God damn it, modern problems with modern solutions.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
I'm not surprised by this in the slightest.
Yeah, you could very easily take modern problems and modern idiosyncrasies of real life and attach them onto your character because you're mimicking real life, right? It can be difficult when you're playing a game set in, let's say the Dark Ages, for example, or, the Renaissance. It can be kind of hard sometimes to figure out, how would my character behave? Like, if their job is that they're a monk who transcribes books, it's a little difficult to envision what that is like because that's not a job that exists anymore. It hasn't existed for a really long time. But if your character's a fucking lawyer, you could go, I know what lawyers are like in real life and I know what they would have to do it. So it becomes interesting to sort of juggle and play with that. So with that being said, the thing I want in my modern setting game is mechanics that remind me and force me to interact with the modern stuff. So for example, like, it doesn't literally have to be this, but like if your character has to pay rent, if your character has to worry about like occupation, what's the word I'm looking for? Occupational requirements, like, like you have to think about what your character's job is and how they balance their work life with their weird fantasy bullshit life. Like, I want there to be mechanics that remind me, like, I'm a super cool vampire. Also, I'm a taxi driver.
Yeah, so
and
like
I want mechanics for being a taxi driver.
Because Vampire has that, specific oh, hey, like you have to pretend to be human.
Yes. Yeah.
And like to pretend to be human, you need to have a job.
You have a job
place
and
to
do
live.
things. Yeah.
You have to do things like a human. You can do it all at night, but you have to do these things.
And then Vampire even says, like, you know, try and come up with an excuse why you're only around at night. Like maybe you're an overnight security guard or something.
Yeah.
You're a nighttime nurse. And like, shit like that. I want mechanics that refresh. Like, oh yeah, I get to, you know, do cool fantasy adventures, but also I have to pay my taxes.
Oh fuck, vampires having to pay taxes. Not something I thought about.
They probably do though.
They do. They definitely do.
I thought,
can you come meet me to pick up your tax forms at 8 a.m.? How about later? 9?
How about
later?
How about 5 a.m.?
How about 5 a.m.?
Why don't you send it to me in an email?
Why don't you email them to me? You fax them?
I need you in person.
Do you have a fax machine?
You know, I just keep my tax stuff.
Who
I
has a
don't
fax
need it.
machine
It's just like
apparently.
Can you go to Staples and fax them to me? Please.
I thought about how I picked for Nico that thing where it's like, doesn't matter who, doesn't matter how, but someone erased all your fucking police records. Congrats, bud. You're an agent of chaos now. And I was like, this seems like it'll be a lot of fun narratively for to be like, all right, we definitely arrested you last week. Where are your files? I don't know. Why'd you lose them? How'd you lose them? Loser.
Not my problem.
Oh, got him.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's definitely, that's the shit that's fun. Cause like, you know, if you're gonna, cause here's the thing, right? If you're like, I just want to play a cool wizard badass, then there's no reason not to just play a fantasy game. So if you're looking for a modern setting, then obviously you want a different vibe than just cool fantasy wizard badass. You want something else. Yeah. You want a little extra spice. So some stuff that reinforces the modern issues, you know, like that's what makes it juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spicy.
Toasty.
That's a fucking
throwbacks.
We did mention Mortal Kombat, so it's fine.
Take a shot when Josh references a fighting game.
Bro, I just fought for my life in the bathroom for an hour. I'm not taking a shot of shit.
I mean, I'm not either, but I'm just, you know, if you're listening, take a shot.
Okay. I don't think you answered, Matt.
This is rough for me because again, I'm Mr. High 5e in the hole here forever. I don't know. I think kind of like what Josh was saying. Like I like a blend of like the modern, like if you want to play Wizard in modern time, like you could do that. But like, how's that going to affect the world around you? Like kind of like if I was looking to play a modern game with some fantasy elements, something in it, kind of like I don't know what, like Bright, that Will Smith movie, where it's like, I want the two worlds, like the fantasy shit and the modern stuff, to just smack together.
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun.
Yeah, it's Shadowrun.
Very Shadowrun.
Where it's like,
Brother, I looked at Bright and said, "Oh, they took this from Shadowrun."
Yeah.
I want something like that, or
I
like
love the idea that Will Smith plays Shadowrun.
Or like kind of like that, but I like, because I do like the Percy Jackson stuff where it's like all the gods are real, all that shit. Everyone has, like, I want it to be like in the Scion RPG where it's like, my dad is Thor and he gave me a magnum pistol that shoots lightning. And it's like, wait a minute, hold up. What? It's like, explain yourself, sir.
That's amazing.
I really like the image of Thor going
lightning pistol
to a crime.
It's literally the cover of the
Python.
It's the cover of one of the books where it's literally you see this teenager holding a magnum and lightning is blasting from it. It has fucking runes on it.
That's fucking amazing.
And it's like, Thor, my dad, I am a demigod. He gave me a magnum. I call it Mjolnir 2. And you're like, no, stop saying these things.
Electric Boogaloo.
Holy Christ.
So something like that where it's like the fantasy shit is just out in the open, but like it's normal. And everyone's like, oh, hey, look, it's Bob the friendly wizard. Oh, what's he doing again? He's trying to cast, speak with animals on all the pigeons again to tell him the government's spying on him. So crazy Bob.
Yeah, so Matt, so you don't like what I was talking about. with like
Yeah, you like the anti-subtle.
Yeah, you like the,
Oh, yeah.
the
Wizard
opposite
shit.
of Bleach.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, because I do like, again, they do that in Percy Jackson, but like, yeah, I guess I do like more of like, I don't
Percy
want it to be subtle. I don't know.
Percy
It is
Jackson
subtle because they have the
teeters
whole veil. It's the hidden
line,
world. They, in the more recent books, like the Magnus
Oh,
Chase books,
I
where it's
found
actually
the
like
cover.
Norse. Oh, you found the sign cover?
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh baby,
share
we
with
gotta
the
see
class.
this.
Oh baby, I can.
It's amazing. But like the Magnus Chase books, it blurs those lines a lot more. Oh, that's not the one I was talking about,
No?
but yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty
That
good
is
one.
Yeah.
I fucking I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but there's the
Oh
Nicholas
my
Flamel
God.
books that exist, and that's kind of again the
Oh my
secret
god,
wizard.
The Alchemist! I love that series.
Yeah, I saw that. I went to the bookstore with my partner recently, and I saw those books, and I'm like, fuck, I have to read them again. Like the fact that they're still out in stores made my fucking head explode. Just because it's like, I don't know, it's probably my first like real experience with this kind of fantasy elements exist.
Yeah,
because
what would
they're
it
in
mean?
hiding.
Oh, that one.
All right, never
modern
mind. I made the book cover
that's
way cooler than it actually is.
I don't know. That's kind of what I thought it was.
Oh god, he's got the soul patch and the fucking. Why does he look like the singer of Godsmack? What the fuck?
God, fucking.
My
balls.
dad is
my
store. Come on, you two, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I was about to say something. Oh yeah, have you guys read the Nicholas Flamel books other than Sam?
No.
What are those books
The
about
Alchemist,
again?
the Sorcerer, like it's just like a modern fantasy. These two twins are like the special chosen ones. One of them kind of maybe turns evil. The other one kind of maybe turns. Or he is,
No,
like,
I
she
remember
is
them.
good.
Oh fuck! They sound super familiar. I remember them being recommended to me like a
the
mofo.
immortal alchemist Nicholas Flamel literally made the Sorcerer's Stone, and like it takes on two apprentices essentially, and then because evil wizards exist in the setting, even though it's modern times, like I remember them going to Alcatraz at some point.
That's like my favorite Nicolas Cage movie, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh my god.
When that movie came out, I thought that was supposed to be about the books. It was not.
That's fair.
I love that. It's just like Merlin and I forgot the evil wizard guy, but they're like the whole
Morgan.
plot is they're trapped in jars, and the evil wizard comes out first, and he's like, "Did you see another guy come out of the jar first?" Like to a bunch of like civilians, they shake their head, and he's like, "Neat." Yeets the jar off a building, hoping Nick Cage dies before the fucking gets out of the jar. So good.
Ow.
I was only wondering because there's a great bit where when they find Atlantis, you remember this, Sam?
Yep.
Where they find Atlantis using a UFO.
What the fuck?
It gets a little out of hand later on.
Yeah.
Like it starts fairly low stakes, fairly low, like, oh, there's an alchemist and he's literally lived for like hundreds of years in this shit. And it just gets wild as you go on. Like at a certain point, if you're a young adult reading this, I mean, like when I these books came out forever ago. I was
in
13.
fucking middle school.
You're just like, I don't know what's happening anymore.
So they fight Atlantis on a UFO, and Skahat, the fucking Irish demigod, Chiron-esque character, pulls out two Egyptian Kopesh, and she's like, I fucking love these things, and just starts murdering weird Atlantis alien people, and you're like, what is happening right now? Oh my god! And then they go to like the World Tree in Hecate, the queen of the witches, is there, and then she one guy has Excalibur, which is an ice sword for some reason, and he like cuts down the World Tree, and one of the branches just crushes her randomly, and you're like, oh, she's fucking dead, Jim.
Good looks.
Bro, what even?
Dude,
it's a time.
even as a middle schooler, I was reading this and I was cracking the fuck up Because I was like, I love this. This is awesome, but this is so stupid. It's so good. Oh, and that's right. Quetzalcoatl is like an evil, kind of businessman, kind of mob boss dude, and no one can say his name right, so he makes them call them Kukulkan, and someone fucks that up, and like one guy pulls out a mahuitl, and he's like, oh shit, that's one of mine. Fuck yeah, dude, you're pretty cool. It's a shame I have to kill you in glorious combat. And you're like, what? Oh my god. Sam, I might have to reread those.
I know. I've been thinking about it. Also, those came out when I was 11.
Oh my god. I must have been 13 then. Fuck me.
Other way around.
I'm trying to do the math.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I must have been 9. I'm sorry.
I was like, wait. Hold on.
I must have been like
2 years old.
I know. My bad. I must have been like I must have read them when I was 13 because I remember I was in middle school.
Yeah, because they came out in 2007.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. I think my problem with those books is that because I started reading them when they came out, I was like, bro, I don't want to have to wait another 2 years for the next book.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I read the first 4. Hold on.
Yeah, there's something like that. This is the weirdest tangent we've gone on today.
Listen, it had to do with modern setting.
Weirdest?
True.
There are 6 books, yes. Or the first 4. The last one's The Enchantress.
Oh, I think that's when I stopped on.
Oh, hold on, you read all of them.
Ow. Oh no, I stopped on the Warlock. That's right.
Yeah,
we didn't have the Enchantress at my school.
Sucks.
Is the brother turn bad?
I don't remember.
I remember that being a thing. Is he gets Clarent, and that's like the sword of fear, and it's like fire related, and he gets like a fire.
Gentlemen, can we please get off this one?
No, this is a trick. This is my trick.
Me and Matt have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, I'm enjoying listening to this. This is like sounding like a book series I need to get into.
It is so wacky, wild, woohoo.
Sounds like it.
After the third book, like when the sorceress hits, because the sorceress is when they go to Atlantis, that's when just everything goes off the rails, because it's like,
doesn't sound like rails ever existed.
I guess no, they did. That's the thing. So this is how I'll tie this in. Sometimes when you have your modern setting, do you think it's okay for it just to go? You're like, okay, all right, modern, and then just, aliens, and you're just like. Just something really like it's some random, very big event that just kind of throws the scale.
It throws whatever's norm like out the window.
So like, let's say that you. I mean, I can't even use JoJo as an example. They have
aliens come up in JoJo yet? I don't remember.
Aliens? Part 4.
Yeah. No.
I forgot about that guy. Yeah.
I literally watched that episode. I watched that episode this morning and went, no, don't do this to me. Don't add aliens. Please don't add
aliens, please.
And then he fucking did. And I went,
and then that mad lad did it.
Okay.
Iraqi covers a lot of ground. If you
animal.
If you want to go, listen, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is all
fucking
that
bizarre.
It is a roller coaster of emotions for all of the stuff you will cover.
Oh God, part 4 has ghosts too.
Hell yeah, it does. Yeah, that's everything.
To answer your question,
part 4 has a lot.
Yeah, fucking Christ, it's exhausting. To answer your question, Sam,
part 4 so much.
So
I'm specifically talking like a climax scenario where it tips the scale.
I'm generally gonna say no. I would prefer you not. However,
I think so too.
If you execute it really fucking well and your plan is really big brain, I can put up with it. But I would definitely prefer we not go. Like, I like to have a certain bounding box of constraints.
Yeah. Unless you set the precedent like the world is bizarre, like how I want my modern fantasy games. Like,
yeah, and then it's just kind of like the conclusion is, the big battle is just visible to everyone.
Yeah, or something where it's like, the aliens show up and it's like Mars attacks, Where it's like, wait, but there's dragons
I don't
and magic
think- I don't-
swords, but now there's aliens. And
I
I'm
don't,
like, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would kind of be a little like,
That's kind of like when you realize the fact that Dracula's in the MCU. It gets a little.
Yeah, buddy.
yeah,
So
public domain, baby.
Dracula, you fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn money?
the reason why I'm okay with it specifically, it has to be, it has to work a very specific way. If the world is like predicated on the fact that, you know, if we're gonna use Bleach, you can't see hollows. This is impossible. You can't see them. If you can't see them, they can't even touch you unless they're super strong.
Yeah.
But at the the last fight, if it's like, oh, the realm between the Soul Society and Earth are like fusing together, everything's falling apart, and then the hollows become visible, there's like a justification. They're not breaking the rules. They're telling you that we are very purposefully bending them.
Yeah.
If they do that and they don't do the Nicholas Flamel thing with fucking aliens in Atlantis, then I'm like, this is good.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like
I
the
don't-
rules are.
like the JoJo method.
You mean they just exist?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'll
love the
accept-
JoJo.
I mean, I do love the JoJo method. But I also just love part 4, especially with
true.
all of its fucking stupidness.
Just don't explain shit. It
No,
just happens.
Here's the
It's
thing.
fine. Just-
I've
just
learned
deal
to
with it.
accept it because stupid JoJo nonsense. But
'Cause
generally,
Araki will just do it.
yeah. But generally,
Araki is
I'm not a
literally the
fan.
embodiment of cool, rule of cool. Like,
Yeah.
Too many times I've read JoJo and said, apologize to me.
Too many
say
times have I read.
psych. Say psych.
Say psych right now.
Too many
Shaking
times
the
have I-
manga book.
Have I read Araki's interviews and been like, yeah, this man really lives by the rule of cool.
He doesn't give a fuck.
he literally, in the interview, is just like, man, hanging out your clothes to dry, that's pretty cool. And you're just like, Araki, what are you on?
You guys ever watch the interview with him? Like,
I
by
know.
the way.
you guys ever watch the interview with him, like trying to draw characters, and then like he's drawing all the JoJos in like one big art piece, and he's like, he scratches his head from it. He's like, I forgot what Jonathan looks like. I could look at some references, but I'm just gonna go with my gut. And you're like, what the fuck?
Oh,
You're like,
Yeah.
and then he made Jonathan
Araki
look like
forgot.
look like
I don't know. He
Joseph.
just made Jonathan look like Josuke with
Oh,
spiky hair. I'm
Oh.
like, the fuck?
That's not,
I mean,
it's not too far off.
side note, I just remember seeing an interview with Rocky and him just go, and the guy was like, something along the lines of like, why did you create JoJo? And my man's answer was basically, I just wanted to draw beautiful men. Like, okay, bud.
Nice.
I listen.
Appreciate
you
you.
know, I really appreciate it, and those beautiful men are beautiful.
Just meat slapping meat.
Yeah, big meaty man slapping me.
It's just funny
big, meaty
because
men.
the farther you get, the less meaty they
True.
are.
Less meat, yeah.
Yeah. Sad.
Like,
Where's the meat?
as soon as you hit part 5, all of the meat just goes out the window. For the
Like
love
screaming
of
out
God.
Arby's restaurant next door. We're like, over here.
For the love of God, drop the meat.
You know what hurts me about part 4
Yeah.
is they took every character, right, and they were like, we're just gonna nerf their arms but give them massive back and chests.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
Yep.
They got the illest fucking lats and pecs,
Yeah.
but they've never done arm day a day in their life.
Never. Josuke's never even heard of a curl.
Arms unnecessary.
I mean, he doesn't need to.
True.
Yeah,
fair.
why would you use your arms when you have stands?
Stando. Yeah.
Yeah. I do chests for.
I can't believe
look.
we're back here again.
Oh.
God damn it.
I absolutely can.
So what we're saying
JoJo.
is, guys, the perfect modern setting is just JoJo's.
It's close.
It's close.
Oh,
I-
God damn it.
It does have that secretness. You can't see the things unless you have the ability
That's
yourself.
the thing.
Um,
God,
you know.
I just want like a fan
there
edit
are
of like
vampires in it.
There are vampires.
I just want the fan edit of like the Jotaro Dio fight, but from like an outsider's perspective, where this is watching these two weirdos just like glare at each
Floating.
other, walk at each other, fucking street corners are exploding, and it's just like, whoa, what's happening? Is this, am I on a movie set? Did I actually walk on a movie set, guys?
I want to talk about things, but I'm like also like, oh, that's a spoiler for part 7.
Yeah.
But part 7 is so far away. I will
so
be honest. I
red.
really love part 7. I started off not liking it, and then it just got better. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. I see why people like this.
I read part 7, and it got better for sure.
No,
I will give you that.
Yeah, I got better. Yeah.
The first like 20 chapters are really rough.
What universe are we?
A great one.
The JoJo universe. Josh.
My beef is is that Johnny never gets better.
Until the end.
No, even then he doesn't get better. He just
You meant
goes
character.
from I'm awful to I'm neutral. Because he doesn't really have a character of his own other than I want to take on Gyro's dream and I want to win the race.
Yeah.
So he's just sort of not.
So I have to disagree. His character's just not that strong because, as you've said before, the main character is really Gyro. He really is, because like he has the main motivation. He has the main his ideals drive it. Johnny is literally there for the ride for most of it because he's like, oh, Gyro can teach me a lot. Johnny's whole deal is that he just wants to get his fucking legs back.
Yeah.
I don't know how he intends to do that at the beginning of the fucking race, but
that was a little odd.
it's fine.
Well, because he gets hit with the spin once and he fucking jumps 8 feet in the air and he was like, what the fuck?
All right,
Oh,
guys.
Yeah.
We gotta bring it back at some point.
Nah.
We're an anime podcast now, Josh.
We're just talking about JoJo the whole time.
This is just the JoJo podcast.
Oh, Christ.
Welcome everyone to the National Dick Sucker Alliance.
We can't make that our name, but we can make it a motto. Maybe. Tagline. There we
Sam,
go.
please.
Tagline.
Sam, open your notes. I beg of you.
What notes?
Fuck this.
Oh, no.
Talking about JoJo.
I literally can't. No. Yeah, modern settings where things get a little crazy, like the introduction of Jesus Christ's corpse into your timeline. You know, I think if it's done well, and it's kind of alluded to that this is going to happen most of the time, or at least
It
like
can
from
be done.
mid-campaign onward.
Yeah.
It can
be done well.
It's been proven it can be. It's just, very.
It has to be carefully crafted.
It's got to be an execution there.
Yeah, it has to be planned. You can't just be like, and the aliens come down, and you're just like,
Unless you don't
where
give a
have
fuck.
aliens ever?
All right,
I mean, if your players don't give a fuck and you don't give a fuck, then just it's fine.
On the same subject, but the whole thing, like that whole like the veil and like people, normal people seeing crazy shit. I just remembered the first season of Digimon, the Myotismon arc. Would that be like because
Digimon?
humans, because humans actually were able to see them, and the evil Digimon took over.
Yeah.
It was fucked, and it was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is horrifying.
Okay, so here's the thing. So that portion is in a modern setting.
Yeah.
I would say
rest of
Tamers
it-
is more modern than Digimon, and like the more modern Digimon set. Like even 2, like Adventure 2 can also be modern, and Adventure 3 by extension, because Adventure 1 was very much so an isekai at first.
Yeah,
because there was no travel back and forth until much later, and then the Myotismon thing happens because of that.
Yeah.
And then they immediately go back.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll be back. We just have to go beat the shit out of this guy again. Bye. So like, yeah, that could be kind of the climax, because like you're like, oh man, the world has been like, we got back, we did the thing, whatever, and it's just like, hey fuckers, you didn't actually solve the problem.
Yeah. It followed you. Fuck.
Ready for nuclear meltdown?
What? Fucking Adventure 1 movie. You're like, yeah, it'll be fine. Hey, yo, I'm launching the nukes. What?
You what?
You fucking what?
Yeah, remember the nukes? Nuke?
What do you mean the nukes? Yeah,
Hey,
all
bud,
of them.
I'm
Every
13.
nuke.
I'm 13.
Hey, what do you want me to do about this? I don't know. Climb through your computer and fight.
Get into Digimon, Shinji.
goddamn it.
Ty.
I just thought of Frontiers for a second. It's like, hey kids, You want to see a kid die by falling down the stairs, and you're like, what?
Trauma. Digimon is not exactly the show for kids that you think it is.
No.
Start watching and you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Dark. It's
No,
darkness.
and I'll tell you
Hey,
why.
You see that kid over there? He's fucking dead.
I'll tell you why. Angelmon and Renamon exist. That's why it's not for kids.
Yeah.
Devimon as well. But anyway,
Who?
Devimon.
Devi
Woman.
Woman.
Oh yeah.
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 I was like, Gallantmon. Yeah, that's another one. Armor sexy baby.
Yes. Anyway, yes, Matt. I would consider that to be like the problem followed you into the modern setting, but because that's not like that particular example is not. Oh, we're in a modern setting. We have all of these modern problems. We have all of this like modern technology. They were literally isekai'd, and then they came back to the modern world, and then the big
Isekai
monster shit
monsters.
happened.
Yeah. Yes.
So then yes and no.
Okay.
I think that the problem following them is an excellent like, hey, chuckle fucks. You didn't solve the problem. You brought it with you, and you may have made it worse by doing so. So like,
Are we the baddies?
good job.
Are we the
Are we the baddies? Yeah. All this talk of JoJo made me all of my thoughts and mental notes have gone out the window, and it's just JoJo now. So
Nice.
yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I was also going to ask about like, because I know you guys have played more games than I have. And now, superhero games do count and fall under this modern setting stuff. What would be some good examples of like modern superhero games to like look at? I know you guys have mentioned Mask to me.
That's the only one I got for you.
That's
that's the one I got
that's
as well,
literally the only
Mask,
one
too.
I got.
I haven't looked into a lot. I know Marvel's making a superhero game that's coming out soon.
I thought that came out already.
No, a playtest came out. Or like a beta thing.
Oh, Mutants and Masterminds.
That was the other one I heard
That's
about.
another one I hear of a lot, although I haven't looked myself.
Same.
Yeah, there's honestly
City
a lot.
of Mist.
City
Oh
of
yeah,
Mist,
City of Mist. I want to play
kind of. City of
Yeah.
Mist is tonally not as superhero-y, but it's sort of within that realm.
Yeah.
So that one,
those are the three that I've even like
yeah.
heard of, like modern settings, powers, and whatever.
There's a lot of older superhero RPGs, but a lot of them kind of just suck. So
I mean, that's kind of the problem with older RPGs.
In general,
They tend to because
Old
this
design.
is something that we could talk about. Yeah, we have advanced design so well because we've adopted things like keywords or tags, if you want to call them that. Keywords brain just goes to card games when using terminology, but like, having those things just makes things so much more readable and functioning that it's just like, yes, this is how you make things not suck so bad. Yeah, like City of Mist, Masks, and I'd already forgotten the other one. Are pretty good
Mutant
examples of-
Masterminds.
Thank you, Mutants Masterminds. Pretty good examples of like superhero games. Again, City of Mist is like, I'm blanking on the comic book series where the fairy tale people come to modern times.
Fables.
Thank you, Fables. Kind of like that.
I wonder if Fables has a RPG.
I would not be surprised if at least there's a fan made one.
Probably. Good chance. Play a little Big B Wolf.
Yeah, that's not surprising. There's one called it's fan made called Fabletop.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, okay, I'm not gonna look any more into this because I'm just gonna go down a rabbit hole because I've seen like 3 or 4 of them that are just like, hey, is there a Fables the RPG, and with different answers. So I'm not gonna go further into that. Did you have any more to that question?
No. It was mostly just like, what are some good, superhero games?
Yeah. Okay. I listen.
Because I was interested in it a while.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I did the cardinal sin and opened Twitter, and then I saw something real funny, and I'm trying.
Oh.
I'm trying. I saw it.
Oh, this hurts me because I'm mixed.
Yeah, I know. Okay, it's fine. Move on, Sam. Move on. I'll explain later.
Yeah, for the record, so anyone doesn't know, Wizards removed any of like the half races.
You guys saw that too?
They moved any of the half races, and
so like I got originally
no, we can't do this.
The original thing wasn't just a side tangent on it. No, please. I just want to get this out there. So originally when the 1D&D playtest came out, they mentioned that they were doing that because they're like, if you want to, you can just pick an elf race or an orc race, and you can just say, or human, you could just say you're a half elf.
Well, they said you can combine it with any two, was what they said.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I mean, like weird, but sure, whatever. It made it easy. And then that statement came out from the the creator summit, which was a whole nother big drama thing. If any of you guys looked at any of that stuff, I've asked so many people about this. I'm like, and like, it's like, how are half anything? How is that racist?
Bro, we can't do this right now, Matt. We can't.
I know. I'm just because everybody I talk to about this does not understand where they're coming from with this.
I can't believe that the modern setting is talking about how.
Please, I want one episode of No D&D. I beg of thee. I know this is my fault. I know I brought this up. I know this is my fault. But let's move on, please.
As the one mixed race person here,
I'm weak.
As the one mixed race person here, Wizards, you're goobers, and it's okay. It's okay to be a goober, but you're a fucking goober for this.
How do you feel about being a racist, Isaiah?
I mean, I'll say some real inflammatory shit on this podcast.
No.
And we're canceled. Thanks, guys. It's been a good run.
God, please, just take us away, Sam. Take us away.
I do actually. Okay, so because I keep looking at the lightning gun, how do you feel about modern weaponry that just uses magic?
That shit's dope as fuck.
I think
okay, all right. Because
fire
again. I'm just looking at pistol of lightning. I'm like, yeah.
Mjolnir 2. Let's go.
Mjolnir 2. I mean, a great example of it is literally Dante with guns.
Yes,
Dante from Devil May Cry, not DMC.
No, I mean, I don't think you can get more anymore as far as anime goes. As long as you're fucking basic, I don't think you can get much better than Kiritsugu's fucking Magic Thompson Contender 4570. Like, I love that thing so much.
I also thought of Death the Kid dual wielding magnums.
Oh yeah,
breaking his wrist every time.
He starts off with Beretta 9mm, and then when he becomes Death, they become the Death Eagle O2s because they're massive Desert Eagles.
Yeah, and you're just like, you can't fire those without snapping your wrists in half.
No,
like, watch, I'll do it with my
fucking pinky.
Also, I'll say
how cool I am.
I'll say bonus points if you do the Percy Jackson thing. Where you take the really famous old school weapon and turn it into some kind of modern thing. So like, this is Excalibur. It's an RPG now because swords, nobody uses swords anymore.
Wait, is that actually a thing in Percy Jackson?
No, but it would be funny if it was.
I'm trying to wait, what in Percy Jackson have they done that with though?
So they didn't do it with like the older weapons, but the idea of like all the swords and weapons that the kids had were all, like they were hidden or modernized and stuff, like they kind of the idea of like
Riptide was the pen.
Riptide was the pen, right? We need to make it fit in the modern set. So what I'm saying is like if you take that a step further and you make Mjolnir a grenade launcher, bonus points. Love it. Big fan.
I'm trying to remember what, because the last thing I read of any of the Percy Jackson universe stuff was the Magnus Chase books, which is Norse mythology Percy Jackson. I'm trying to remember what the fuck his sword was, because I think his sword did that.
I don't know.
But now I don't remember what his sword changed into. That was like a month. I don't think it was like a can of soda or some shit. Fuck.
But yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
love
kill
that
me
shit.
now. I'm gonna look this up.
I love ridiculous fucking
Okay.
modern
Alright,
weapons with
'cause
magical horseshit.
what? Oh, yeah, fucking the Final Fantasy anime again.
Oh,
Gun to fire
yeah.
dust, bullets,
the
do summons.
Magun has thawed.
How many times have we mentioned this fucking weapon?
The final charge trying to use on you has been decided. I still know a lot of those.
Of course you do.
Oh fuck! I think about the Magun a lot. Actually, it's just
I think about it arguably an unhealthy amount.
the Magun lives rent free in Isaiah's life.
It really does. The
100%.
theme song, all of the fucking summoning, incantation, all of it. Just him
It's
being
just so
like,
good.
"Soil is my power," and you're like,
What does that mean, bro?
"That was the sexiest thing I've ever heard, but that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard you say. Never speak to me again with that sexy voice, sir."
Oh, I looked it up. Okay,
but
his sword
it's a
turns into a
perfect-
pendant. Okay, never mind.
okay.
Not as fun.
It's better than a can of soda.
I don't know why I thought it was a can of soda. I'm like, that's just
Can of soda's a little weird, man.
I like
I'm not gonna
can of
lie.
soda.
yeah.
Just this sword. Can of soda.
He just cracks open.
Don't worry about it.
Turn into a can of fucking Faygo.
It's open, of course.
Oh my god. Imagine if the
yeah,
only way you could turn it into a sword is by shotgunning it.
Oh my god.
I gotta check this whole can. Oh,
Does someone have a key? Can I get a key to borrow real quick?
Oh, that's
Why is it every Sam episode is scuffed as fuck?
I don't know.
because I let the train go wherever it wants to.
So
And
you want to
I
talk
find
trains?
No.
I had a rant about public infrastructure recently. I don't need to do it again.
all right, Josh. I already got your thumbnail for this episode. You gotta use the Scion guy with the Magnum gun, but you gotta put like a JoJo head on the.
Yeah, JoJo had to give him the Magun.
Yes,
That's
perfect.
bro, that's a lot of photoshopping. What are y'all doing to me? God
Anyway,
damn it.
I think my favorite thing about the Magun is that it's like it takes a ritual and just slaps it into a gun.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, so how is modern magic done? I have a gun that shoots the magic out. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I have a gun that shoots magical sacred soil, which then creates the magic to create the spell.
Nice.
Also, my heart's in it. Literally.
I don't know why, but that's such a cool fucking flavor thing. Like the gun wizard, it's such a cool idea. And every time I try to look at it and bring it to 5e, it just doesn't work. And I'm like, man,
Matt,
I'm not that infatuated with the gun wizard. I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people are. I don't totally get
I
that
don't know why.
one.
It just looks cool as fuck for some reason. I don't understand it.
Gun cool,
guess.
spell cool, gun spell cool.
Yeah, Josh, it's like two things that normally shouldn't go together, like Vikings and cowboy, and then you get Brock Lesnar now. You know, it's cool. I don't get it.
Did
How
you
did we
do
get
that?
wrestling in this?
That
You're
was
welcome.
fucking immaculate.
Wow.
I'm so confused by how you pulled that off.
Matt, what you just did should be illegal.
So Matt, when are we making the wrestling podcast?
I don't know, but
It's just you explaining wrestling.
I should.
I mean, look, Matt by far has been the person to make wrestling the most interesting for me.
This is
Oh,
true.
absolutely.
A lot of people have tried, but I haven't laughed as hard as Matt explaining wrestling.
This is very
Matt
true.
really took a lesson from the steamed hams video, but weird.
The wild version.
Wild version.
The wild version.
All right, you guys want to watch wrestling, but the wild version? It's like, oh,
Hell yeah. Listen, if someone animated, but like they had a bunch of different animators for every 6 seconds of a wrestling video, I would totally watch it.
yeah. Gonna pay 100 different artists to animate the Rhea Ripley fight
listen.
from this weekend.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, WWE has the money. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
Wrestling is still somehow
Oh, I forgot to
popular in this
apply. I
day
should
and
be one of
age.
the writers. I forgot about that. I gotta do that. What's your background experience? 0. My
Zero.
fan fiction.
0. But I'm a god
My
at this.
mind.
God bless, man. God fucking.
Absolutely 0. But I'm a
My
god.
background is that I made it the fuck up.
Exactly.
Just like this show.
I mean, yeah.
What was the question again? I seem to have lost the plot.
As you
the
do.
plot.
Yep.
Oh, where's the plot? Gun wizard.
Yeah, gun
That's the
wizard. Yeah,
ultimate
gun wizard.
spell.
Gun wizard.
Gun.
Cool. Gun wizard. Cool. Want to do it in 5e? Can't. Sad.
I don't. Listen, Matt. And here's my solution to you.
Can with a lot of work.
Stop
No.
doing it in 5e.
I mean, you can
That
just
too.
play an artillerist and multi-class wizard.
That too.
We have the technology, Matt. This isn't difficult.
Make your focus a gun. That's even easier.
You literally can do that. Take gunner, right? Take artillerist. Artillerist says if there's guns in the setting, you can have proficiency with guns, and you can turn your whole your tool into a casting focus. You can literally. I'm listening to the Demon Gunshot song right now, so as I'm speaking, it's getting more hype. It's pretty easily doable. I would have done it had I not made 3 other gun wizards.
Understandable.
Instead, I made Django.
I think.
All right, listen.
I think what Matt. I think the thing Matt's kind of hitting on is that it's not.
It's not the same as if you're
It's not
artificer.
quite the same. Yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah, fair
it's
enough, fair
Matt wants the fucking whatever it's called.
I want
from
a
the final-
cowboy wearing a wizard hat who shoots magic missiles from his fucking sidearm.
He wants
Not-
Just make your focus a gun. Okay.
I'm gonna kick his ass. That's it. I'm kicking his ass.
It's literally
Sorry, Josh,
you
keep
just flavor
going.
it so that when you use the focus, it just comes from the gun.
I actually have lost my train of thought now. Genuinely.
Oops, my
There
bad.
was- there was
My bad.
trains.
I'll try and find it. Hold on.
I'll try.
Anyway.
Trains.
Trains.
Anyway, how you doing?
Sam, please.
What? Listen. What if you had to fight a train in your modern setting? All right, this is Final Fantasy VI, but modern.
I was gonna
You have
say
to fight
like
the
the
ghost
like the
train.
hell train. Yeah.
Your only option is to suplex it.
You have to fight the
Obviously,
train, or-
thank you.
Or can I do the Spider-Man 2 and just stop the train from going off the side of
No.
the bridge?
No, you have to fight
No.
it. You have to fight it.
No, you have to fight the train. It's okay. So I did think about Dragon Ball a little earlier, and I was like, that's not as close to modern
Yeah, Dragon Ball
as
is a
it could
weird.
be, because it is. We have dinosaurs.
Mhm.
We have animal people.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to say that.
I
I was
really
gonna
like
say
that.
furries, but I was like,
Well, it's the same with what's it, Afro Samurai, where it's ancient Japan, all this stuff. All of a sudden, cyborg, bazooka, and you're like, hold
So-
up.
Afro Samurai, if you read the manga, is actually a post-apocalypse.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so at the very end, before he goes to fight Justice on Mount Shumai, he goes into it's called the Ruins, and it's I think it's actually Tokyo.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's modern day Tokyo.
I gotta read that because I only know it from the show. In the one movie.
It's
That was it.
wild. It was more of a random stream of consciousness that someone was like, "This would be cool if I drew this." It's really weird. It's really cool though. I don't want to spoil the ending because it's very interesting.
Anyway, Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. Yeah, no, Dragon
I
Ball.
mean,
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
have a point with the Dragon Ball thing, or did it just?
It's kind of modern, but some
kind of.
it makes sense.
Listen, I was watching I watched a couple of the Dragon Ball Super movies today while digging around at work, because I finished a major project yesterday, and I was just like, Dragon Ball sounds good. I don't have anything to fucking do today. And then my day took a fucking nosedive after that. So I was like, damn, I really peaked today. So my mind's just on Dragon Ball. What I will say is that original Dragon Ball, not Z, is way more what I'm thinking about with modern setting, where this stuff exists, but getting to the point where you can even use it, and most people are normal, and we have a few fantastical elements like dinosaurs and animal people just existing. The king of the world's literally a dog.
True.
But martial artists can do wild things. I also like that kind of setting, where it's not super secret, but getting to a point where you can use it. It's just bro, you gotta either be talented as fuck or train for your entire goddamn life. No actual point with it though. I was just thinking about Dragon Ball. And I meant to mention it earlier, and I just lost it to the sauce. I think we started talking about JoJo. So,
I mean, yeah.
What a great time. What a great episode this has been. We've just gone on absolutely. Listen, I like tabletop RPGs, but we do need to spice it up a little bit sometimes, and that's why the train just goes off the rail.
Sam says I'm the...
Yeah.
I'm here for it, guys.
Listen, the goblin comes out and I just start pulling levers at random. Send the signal to change tracks, and we just do. It just happens.
Have any?
No, absolutely not. The JoJo talk really took everything out of my brain.
Oh my God.
I literally I was like, yeah, I have things to talk about today. JoJo.
This is why I write things down.
Hey, listen, Matt, I did not have the day to write things down. I only decided on the topic yesterday.
Well, got any closing points, I suppose?
JoJo,
don't try playing 5e in modern times. Just play a different system.
Oh, that's right. That was a thing. Okay, wait. I do kind of want to talk about this.
Okay.
I don't see why you couldn't do 5e in modern times. Like, yes, you need like some transitional things to do, but I think that 5e as it exists gives you enough bones to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's even stuff in the DMG for it.
I think,
even though it's not,
that book that no one reads but me, apparently.
Yeah, and yes, that stuff isn't the best or the most expansive. I think it's
pretty limited.
Pretty usable.
It's possible. So here's why I'm saying don't, is because there are just better systems for it.
There are, yes, because a lot of people there's a lot of games. There's a lot of people that already like this idea, so a lot of systems have been made. Been made.
You don't need to play.
And a lot of those
D&D.
systems are gonna give you a much more
broader,
like tactile kind of like. They're gonna give you stuff that's gonna really help with the verisimilitude of the feel. You know, again, we mentioned Vampire the Masquerade, but like there are things in that game that very actively try and push the point of like, yes, you're fantasy monsters, but you still have to live in reality. Well, fake reality, but whatever.
I mean,
that you have to live in the reality of that setting.
If what's his name? Your first murderer, Cain.
Yes.
Or is it Abel? Was Cain?
Oh, okay. Cain.
Yeah. So first Cain becomes vampire, and and that's the big change in the timeline. And now that's pretty fucking far in the past.
Yeah, right.
But just slight changes in the timeline, and that reality, the slightly changed timeline reality. You got to live in that with the humans.
Here's my deal with here's the reason I say. Okay, I'm gonna say the inflammatory sentence and then explain it. The reason I say don't play in modern setting in 5e is because you can't play a modern setting in 5e. That's the inflammatory sentence. Let me now substantiate that statement.
I was gonna say, disagree, but I understand.
No, you'll probably agree though when I actually extrapolate it. The reason I say that is because the amount of change and adjustment and homebrew and hacking that I think you would need to do to make it feel good and work would be so much hacking and changing that you're not really playing 5e anymore.
I don't think so. If you use something like Waterdeep Dragon Heist, you can easily change Waterdeep into New York City or San Francisco or whatever big city you want.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, you like, but like I don't think
there's a lot of retooling.
I don't think it's as much as you think it is, to be honest.
I think you just change the names of key things and you add guns.
Okay, but here's my thing.
You don't even need guns. Like, change a few names.
I mean, you
but
do
like,
need guns. I don't think you can avoid the gun thing.
You can, but I'm just saying, like, you can easily do it. If like, it depends on what 5e tools you're using. Like, if you're doing like a Grimhall thing, and there's like, you're doing like a horror kind of like survival game. Maybe you could do that in horror if you want to go for more like a Jason Voorhees or like, that kind of nonsense. But like, if you just
What?
want like, what
I
like,
I stopped. My brain turned off when you said horror.
Yeah, I don't know how you got to that spot there, Matt.
did you not hear when I said Grim Hollow?
What does Grim Hollow have to do with?
Anywho's, I'm just gonna keep going with my point. I think the transition from modern, like you can do 5e in modern very easily with not as many tweaks as I think you're saying.
I just okay, but then my argument becomes if all you're doing is putting a new coat of paint on everything, why even bother?
Because you know the system, because a lot of people don't want to transition to a new system. Yes, I am now in the camp of I think people should play other systems. However, people work, people have other things.
Yeah,
I know.
No.
I haven't done it yet, but I do agree that people should. But I think people are like, they know 5e. It's the biggest game.
Okay, hold on.
It's easily to
I think
Play-Doh
you're misunderstanding what I mean. I'm not so much talking about... What I mean is, if all you're doing is taking 5e and slapping a different coat of paint over the game, why are you even bothering to try and really fuck with the setting? Because it's not going to feel any different. It's going to feel the same. You're just going to say your wizard pulls out a Glock instead of a wand. And it's not really going to feel any different if all you're doing is changing the coat of paint. So if
you can say that's the same thing with a cyberpunk game. If you want your cyberpunk game to be more sci-fi, it's like, what's the difference? So like,
well, yes, I would say the same thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so like, why bother? What I'm saying is like,
because it's a system.
If you're two options here,
the game.
No. But if you're two options, but what I'm saying is you're going to be, I think you'll be unsatisfied is really what I'm saying here. If all you do is put a different coat of paint over 5e and then hope that it's going to give you a cool, interesting, modern setting campaign, I think you're going to be disappointed. I don't think, because it's not going to feel any different if you don't take the time to sort of change it up mechanically in any way. It's going to feel pretty much the same. If you just call some stuff, if you just call a short sort of pistol, it's not really going to change the vibe. Well, that's a weird one because that's from melee to range.
If you want to change the weapon,
point being, if you just call let's say bow. If you just call a bow a rifle, and that's it, you're not changing enough that it's going to feel different and interesting.
It involves a lot of reflavoring and
but that's what I mean.
I think that's it. It's reflavoring. I don't think it's a lot of mechanic changes. I don't think you need that. Especially
but the reflavoring, really if you want satisfying reflavoring, you kind of have to have mechanical changes. This is the thing I'm always on about, that it's like you need to have mechanics to reinforce the fiction you're trying to tell, because if you don't, then you're just playing make-believe, like when you picked up sticks as kids and said they were guns. And if you just want to do that, then just do that. You don't need a game. It's like...
Well, so, I don't think that's the best connection there. Why you would do it, I mean, the simplest answer is to tell a story, right? Like, you want to play the game and tell a story. If that's the system you want to do, Wizards has tried this for a while, and whether or not it's the most successful, notwithstanding, they've really tried to make the game as, practically speaking, system agnostic or setting agnostic as possible.
It's not.
Like, no, it's not. But they've tried, and they've gotten it to a point.
I think
I don't think they failed at all. I don't think they are 100% successful. I wouldn't go as far as say that they've failed.
Well, actually, here's my spicy take.
Let me ask you a question.
No system.
Wait,
hold on. No, I gotta say the spicy take. No system is setting agnostic. Doesn't exist.
No, of course it doesn't. But let me ask you a question. What exactly is one thing that makes it so that 5e needs to be in a fantasy medieval setting? Other than money.
I mean, yeah, that's a big one.
Fantasy cool.
I mean, I think the idea of magical item progression, the idea of the monsters you fight and the way that the threat level increases. We didn't get into this, but I think a big thing that makes fantasy games very different, or that makes modern games very different from fantasy games, is the sort of threat level and the types of threat and the progression of danger. It's very different. You're not going to have, in a fantasy game, as you fight stronger and stronger things, you go from fighting goblins to dragons to gods. in a modern setting, you're going to go from fighting security mooks to like trained assassins, but they're all humans or they're all humanoid, right? The power scaling is very different. So I think that's a big part of 5e. And because the monsters are so incredibly integral to 5e and most other fantasy games that sort of follow its tone, that would be a really difficult one. And then also the way that magic items sort of evolve and flow and get more powerful is very similar to the monsters. I think that one would be difficult. I also feel like the classes are like kind of a weird gray area because a lot of them have very fantasy specific tone to them, but you could make some arguments for how you could adjust them. I feel like the reflavoring I feel like would have to go pretty far to the point where you're playing a different thing.
Well,
not necessarily. Like you could just make like, you know, if you have a monster like the ogre, why can't the ogre just be a fat human? Big fat human bouncer dude.
Well, I don't know why.
Because the ogre isn't just an image. The ogre isn't just a picture or a creature description. The ogre is a stat block with mechanical implications.
But you could easily swap it. They even tell you in the monster manual to do so.
No, I know you can swap it, but when you're dealing with, like, for example, how do I translate the mechanical abilities of a dragon into like a person? You know, there's lots of like, you don't necessarily, okay, you don't need,
like that one could be a machine, to be honest. Like,
sure,
well,
that's
also dragons canonically can take human form, so like,
that not really. Sure, whatever. Getting into the weeds on that one, but what I'm saying, like, it's not so much about the specific dragon example. What I'm saying is, I just do it with another. I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it.
Just think, you could do it with another setting. I don't think. I think changing proper nouns does not equate to changing system, for sure. And
no, what I'm saying is though, changing proper nouns is not enough. It's not going to feel satisfying.
Well, because I guess, but what you had said was, you know, if you do that much reflavoring, you might as well play another system. I disagree with that statement just because reflavoring does not equate to changing mechanics.
No,
the system itself can remain the same. As far as shifting the monsters to match a modern setting, I don't think you have to do that at all. And I think the best example of that is Shin Megami Tensei, right? Like, you're still fighting goblins, 2 dragons, 2 gods in that order. Like, it flows pretty seamlessly.
That's a peculiar setting, but kinda, yeah. Like, I guess the only way. I guess this is the difference between like me and I guess this is the difference between the people like me and Sam and the people who just play and don't necessarily get into the designy noodly bits, but like. Okay, let's put it this way. I imagine a scenario where somebody says, we want to run, like, I don't know, maybe this literally never happens, but let's just pretend, I guess we live in Fantasyland ourselves here. A player comes to you and asks you to run a specific type of game. This has never happened to me, but let's, you know. And they say, I would love it if you would run a modern game. And you go, okay, I don't want to learn a new system though, so you're going to have to run 5e. At which point I shoot that person. What? Who said that? And I say, okay, fine. I will retool 5e to a modern setting. And I say to myself, all right, I'm going to make this as minimal work as possible. So I'm just going to slap a new coat of paint on everything. I cannot see a scenario where I start running that campaign and then I go, all right, I'm just going to, the goblin is just a dude with a gun. Or maybe the goblin is a human, is like disguised as a human. Maybe it's a Fable situation where like the magical creatures pay for magic glamours to look like humans, some shit, whatever. And I'll do that coat of paint. I can't see a situation where at some point I say to myself, well, let me just tweak this mechanic to do this thing. Oh, let me tweak this other thing to do this thing. And eventually I'm just tweaking so much that I realize that I've like low-key designed a new system I can throw up on Drive-Thru RPG. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, it just seems like it would keep going. Or the other scenario I see is I don't keep going, but then I get kind of frustrated because I feel like I'm just playing 5e still and it doesn't feel very different. You know, like those
Can't
are the two
believe we-
routes I see.
I can't believe we managed to play other systems back into the episode.
Well, so my only response
You know
to
how I
that
am.
is that I don't think you have to be someone who's in the weeds and someone not in the weeds. I think you very easily just could be like you choose your own battles. This is speaking for someone who, for the most part, does not get into the weeds. I don't like. I care enough to like, oh, this system works. It does good things. I like it, but I'm also fine with being like, I'm just gonna change all the proper nouns and move on with the day. You know, because like that's just the simplest answer. That being said, I know a lot of people, just like friends of ours, who have done like, oh yeah, we're gonna do modern 5e, and no one seems to have a problem with it. It seems to work just fine, and like based on the way that people treat 5e, that seems to be the way things go, just sort of on a mass. So,
Like, look at Dimension 20. Like, how many of their games are like modern?
true. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just old man yells at cloud. This like there's no winning for me. So
There might not be, no, but I don't necessarily think this is a game to be won. I just think it's an interesting shift in philosophy.
I just
Like,
It's just, how people prefer their flavor of, whatever if they want to do in 5e.
I don't know.
Sure.
I just find it
I don't think people
incredibly
should be
frustrating.
punished or made fun of.
People just
Or-
play other games.
Yeah,
That's all
or
I'm
be
asking.
bullied into. Like, well, that's the thing. If someone said, like, so Sam, if someone was respectfully to say, no, thank you, then don't, like, and I'm not saying you're doing this. I'm just saying in general, because this is a big thing that happens online constantly, where someone's like, I want to do this, but I know 5e, and then just the massive wave of people. Oh, play this system. Oh, play this system. What are you, an idiot? Why are you playing this system? And it just gets annoying to the point where you have people who just, they pull a mat and just fucking put your head in the sand and be like, no, I don't think I will anymore.
Okay.
So I don't think people should be punished for wanting to do something in 5e, but I also do believe that people should try other systems out, or at least look at them. At the bare minimum, look at other systems.
Let me just. Yes, you're correct, Matt. And what, Sam?
You just keep going. It's fine.
Were you
Continue.
gonna say something? Sorry.
No. I'm just letting this train just fly off the fucking rail.
Yes, you're correct, Matt. In that, no, you should not be a dickhead about it, because by being a dickhead about it and saying like, "Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Don't use 5e," what you get is the opposite result of what you want, right? By doing that, you push people away. You don't bring people in. So yes, I definitely don't do that. The thing that I think a lot of people are not, the side I don't think people are looking at in this scenario, and I don't necessarily mean you, Matt, but just sort of generally, is yes, it's annoying when you say, how can I do X thing in 5e? And then a bunch of people just say, oh, play this other game. It already does that thing. And then the person says, no, I don't want to. And then the other people continue to double down and continue to jump down their throat and say, no, you should play the other system. That's absolutely annoying. However, in defense of the other side of the situation, the people who are saying, oh, play another system, you have to understand that part of their frustration is that 5e has such a fucking monopoly stranglehold on the hobby that they're so incredibly frustrated because they want the games they love to get some attention, and or they want people to play with, and or they think designers should get paid for their really good work. It's the situation. It'd be like if every video game was only ever published by Xbox and Microsoft, there would be a ton of people who would be fighting tooth and claw to bring up Sony. I mean, that kind of already happens, to bring up Sony in every scenario because they think they deserve the recognition, right? Tabletop is this super weird scenario where we have this one game and this one company that has an insane stranglehold on the hobby in a way that, like, I can't think of any other example that comes close. Like, I can't think of anything that compares to the stranglehold that D&D has on the tabletop space. It's like, it's kind of insane. You know what I mean? So, yes, it's not good to be a dickhead about it. But you should also see it from their side of the table in that they feel really frustrated that like, oh, these other games I love that I think should get more attention are getting ignored because 5e has such a stranglehold and people aren't willing to learn new systems or don't want to learn new systems. And you could take it one of two ways. You could go down the dickhead route and say, oh, people are too fucking stupid to read new systems. Or you could try and be reasonable about it and go, I understand it's work to learn new systems, but here's all these ways that you could go about it, or here's all these other options. And that's where we start getting into the realm of the thing I've talked about before, where once you've learned one system, it's much easier to learn others, and you get this sort of, you get a skill. So it's, yeah, it's, you know, people gotta be reasonable on both sides, because quite frankly, the burying your head in the sand and just saying, no, fuck you, I'm only going to play 5e ever is not better. You know, that's not good either. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like imagine if someone said to you like, oh yeah, I love anime. And then you go, oh cool, you should watch the show. No, I only watch shonen. Well, but what about this other? No, only shonen. Okay, well, but no, only show. Okay.
Just pull a Joey, and just like every time someone asks him to watch Arcane, he's just like, yeah, that's another year I'm never watching.
Yeah, right?
Like, fuck!
You know, it's like, oh, you know, I really love Demon Slayer. Oh, cool. You should watch Black Lagoon. Nope, only shonen. Well, it's kind of similar. No. Okay. You know, it's a problem. It's, you know, it's the two extremes being dickheads at each other is really what the issue is. In regard, you know, and in regards to the 5e as a modern setting thing, yeah, I guess really, I have a hard time seeing, like, I don't know, I can't play a game, and I shouldn't say I can't. That's very dramatic. I often don't play a game and just go, yep, cool, fun, and then don't think about it. Like, my brain is so engrossed in the like design side of games, both video games and tabletop, even board games, where I cannot play them without, there I go saying can't again. I don't often play them without analyzing the design and the game itself. And like, if we're talking about video games, I'll often analyze the art design and the, you know, I mean, Jesus Christ, I'll be playing games and complain about like, oh, this UI element's really stupid, here's how I would fix this. Like, I can't just play and enjoy. I don't have that like that I don't know what it is. I can't, I just like doing it so much because I'm so interested in the idea. But conversely, I'm the kind of person who can watch a movie and be like, pretty color's cool, and then move on with my life. You know what I mean? Like with movies, I can do it. So I guess really what I need to try and take my movie mentality and apply it to how other people look at tabletop, because that is what it is other people will play a tabletop game and be like, D&D cool, and then just move on with their damn day.
Yeah, game cool.
Yeah, that's
gotta be like game cool.
Because like I'm imagining like, oh, we're playing this modern D&D campaign and we just slap a modern coat of paint over everything, and I'm sitting there looking at it like, but it's just a coat of paint. You didn't redo the foundation. You didn't pull up the floors. You didn't change the crown molding. It's just a coat of paint.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, cool. Did I just put myself? Did I just put myself through therapy? What just happened?
Yes.
I blacked out. I blacked out. What did I just say?
You were ending the episode, is what you just said. That's real cool. You know, thank you for bringing me into this wonderful place to end.
I just realized a weird thing about myself. All right, yeah, that's fine. Let's not.
I literally have just gone into a different dimension listening to you rant for the
I know. I think I'm sorry. Who's ever listening? I'm sorry. I just went into a fugue state.
A whole lot of character development you did in about 5 minutes.
Anyway, follow us on the Twitter if you'd like to keep up to date. Hit follow or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, and leave a comment if you want to tell us why we're wrong or right, or why I'm a psychopath.
All right, and with that, this has been Sessions Canceled Podcast. I will disappear now.
Yeah.
Bye.
I guess
Okay, bye.
All right.
100 years from now, he will come back from the wall.